Well, he's been knocking those in all week, but the barrage of breaks is quite difficult. The pockets seem smaller, don't they?
One.
Well, here we go again, maybe. He's already won 5 frames in this final, in which Karen Wilson has not potted a ball.
Give me a second, please, Ronnie.
Colin Humphries just slotting the pink into position behind the pack.
Interesting stat, actually, Dave, in the semi-finals and finals. Only one frame of all 3 matches to date where there's not been a break over 50. So the standard's very high, and that goes back to frame in the match with O'Sullivan and McGill, the frame where Ronnie missed those 2 blacks off the spot. 6th frame.
8.
Table's been playing well, but the standard has been extremely high.
I think it's been a terrific tournament, and one of the things about the Home Nations events, you get to see so many faces you might not normally see in tournaments.
13. 14.
Very busy period of the calendar coming up, a lot of tournaments, and if O'Sullivan can get on a run, who's to say what sort of damage he can do in this part of the season.
Just flick the red away from the black there to give himself more to play with.
21. 22. 29. 30. 37. 38. 43.
I think it's get a little bit more difficult now, if that's possible. That's where he'll have to think through what he does next.
44.
He's a bit straight on the blue, doesn't leave all that many options. I better just run through into the bunch, a real queuing shot. It's a beautiful effort. Just an absolute joy to watch, isn't it? And that's such a difficult shot to make the red spread. But the top spin he had on the ball, the keyboard
49.
just accelerated. They're all coming out tonight, Dave, aren't they, all these shots?
Well, if you programmed a computer to play snooker, this is how it would play if you programmed it correctly. Pretty much unplayable.
Yes, he's actually got awkward queuing, despite a brilliant shot like that.
50.
Recovered it very well. You never know what's going to happen next, but it appears that he's on this surge of form.
Give me a second, please, Ronnie.
It seemed enormous to him.
wonder if John Higgins did him a slight favour by winning that tournament in India, just to move ahead of him on the all-time list. I think as O'Sullivan, as his career doesn't come towards an end, because clearly it's nowhere near the end, but as he's on sort of the back nine, as it were, he is noticing
56.
records more and more and focusing on maybe his place in the game, in the game's history.
57.
Well, his place in the game history is right up there. There'll always be the debate as to the greatest of all time, and people will always say O'Sullivan or Hendry, or even
64.
man of the trophies named after Steve Davis. But
65.
when it comes to Stephen Hendry, wonderful as he wasn't even a professional at the age that Ronnie is now. He'd retired from competitive play.
So snooker's required. There's never been anyone as good as this. Don't care what anyone says.
Well, I'm with you on that.
73.
Well, it'd be just like him to finish with another century, wouldn't it? Be a proud moment for
80.
him to join Higgins on 29 ranking events, going past
81.
his boyhood hero Steve Davis to collect the Steve Davis trophy. He was in a bit of hibernation earlier in the season while everyone else was playing. He wasn't playing in tournaments, but he's
87.
back and, well, is as good as ever.
88.
Yes, these Home Nations events last year proved very difficult to win, difficult to predict who'd win. Had the tournament favourite winning it.
94.
Mark Selby was high in the list of
95.
betting from the sponsors, but the fact is, despite it being 7 matches and best of 7s for a few days, the class of O'Sullivan has come through all of that, and he's come from a difficult draw, and right now, at this moment in time, he looks to be playing snooker in a league of his own.
Thank you.
Yes, 4th
102.
century of the final to win the championship. Corin Wilson had one of his own, but what are you supposed to do against an O'Sullivan in this sort of form?
Final thing I'll say, Dave, pot success in a final.
105.
98% pot success in a best of 17 frame final.
107.
That stat alone is all you need to know.
Yeah, quite incredible.
He's missed 6 pots all day.
110.
Well, he's got it all, hasn't he? He's got the skill, he's got the nerve,
114.
he's got the self-confidence, he's got the charisma. He's a star that any sport would want involved in
119.
any of its events. And in snooker, he's got every shot in the book, and we've seen them today.
125. Thank you.
We've seen them again in this winning break. 132 to finish. Snooker players come and snooker players go, but there's only one, Ronnie O'Sullivan, and he is our champion in Barnsley.